Right now, more and more doctors in the US are moving away from the traditional insurance model and instead they're charging patients a monthly fixed rate. It's called the direct primary care model, and it's quickly becoming one of the biggest shifts happening in private practice. And the reason is simple: it gives doctors more control, more predictable revenue, and a better patient experience. So, in this video, I'm going to break down why the model is growing so fast, the pros and cons you need to understand, and how you can start implementing something similar into your practice or med spa. So, what does this actually look like in a practice? Instead of billing insurance every time a patient comes in, patients pay a simple fixed monthly rate. This fee covers a defined set of services, things like office visits, basic labs, calling in prescriptions, and direct access to the doctor. There's no insurance billing for these services, no claims, no codings, no denials, and no waiting to get paid. And because of that, doctors typically have a much smaller patient panel, which means more time for patients and a much better personalized experience. At its core, it's really just a subscription model for healthcare. Patients pay monthly access to care, and the practice gets predictable, reoccurring revenue. So why are so many doctors starting to adapt this model right now? Because the traditional model is getting harder to sustain. Insurance reimbursement keeps going down. We all know this, while administrative burden keeps going up. Doctors and staff are spending more time on paperwork and denials than with patients. And burnout is an all-time high. And at the same time, patients are already paying more out of pocket. High deductibles mean patients are essentially paying cash anyway, even with their insurance. So both sides are frustrated. And that's why this shift is happening towards something much simpler and more predictable. It's less complicated, they have way more control, and it's a model that actually works for both doctors and the patients. So what are the actual benefits here? And why are doctors making the switch? First, you get predictable, reoccurring revenue. You're not guessing what you're collecting each month. You know. Second, you have more time with patients. You're not rushing through the visit just to keep up your volume. Third, you drastically reduce admin and billing complexity. No insurance claims, no constant back and forth, just simpler operation. And because of that, you build stronger relationships with your patients. They stay with you longer, they trust you more, and they refer their friends and family to you. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing: you have more control over your business, your time, and your revenue, and exactly how you practice medicine. Now, this model isn't perfect, and there are some real things you need to be careful about. First, ramp up can be slower than expected. You're building a patient panel over time. It doesn't happen overnight. Second, you need strong marketing. If you can't constantly attract and convert patients, this model is going to struggle for you. Third, your pricing has to be right. Too high, patients won't want to join. Too low, and the model doesn't work. And the reality is that not all of your current patients are going to come over with you. Some are going to want to stick with insurance, and that's okay. There can also be regulatory considerations depending on your state, so you need to structure it correctly. But the biggest thing to understand is this isn't a shortcut to an easier practice. It's a completely different model that requires strategy to make it work. So how does this apply to you? Especially if you're not running a direct primary care clinic. The reality is you don't have to fully drop insurance to use this model. You can layer it into what you're already doing. For med spas, this looks like a membership fee, monthly skincare products, treatment packages, bundled services. Think monthly facials, prepaid treatments, or memberships that include perks like discounts on booked services or supplements. For private practice, you can create a hybrid model where you still take insurance, but offer a monthly membership for added access, faster appointments, or expanded services. The goal isn't replacing everything. It's to create predictable, reoccurring revenue on top of your existing model. And when done right, it can increase retention, improve patient experience, and make your revenue a lot more consistent. So what would this actually look like in your practice? The biggest mistake people make is trying to overhaul everything all at once. You don't need to do that. Start with one simple membership offer. Define exactly what's included, whether that's a visit, treatments, access, a bundle service. The price is based on value, not just your cost. What is that access and experience actually worth to your patient? From there, test it with their existing patients. They already know you and they already trust you. And they're the easiest to convert. And as you build this out, focus your systems around retention, because that's where the real value of this model is. Because at the end of the day, it isn't about replacing your current model overnight. It's about layering something smarter on top and build from there. Now, Let's zoom out for a second. This is a part of a much bigger shift that's actually happening in healthcare right now. We're seeing a clear move toward more cash based care, more subscription type models, and less reliance on insurance overall, because both doctors and patients are starting to question the current system. Doctors want more control and less administrative burden. Patients want better access, transparency, and a more personalized experience. And this model sits right in the middle of that. It's more patient centric, more predictable, and frankly, more aligned on both sides. So, this isn't just a trend, it's a shift in how practices are going to be built moving forward. The direct primary care model isn't just about changing how you get paid, it's about changing how you run your entire practice. And the reason it's growing so quickly is because it solves a lot of problems the traditional model creates for both doctors and patients. When it's structured the right way, you get more predictable revenue, better patient relationships, and a much stronger overall experience. And even if you don't fully switch to this model, there are pieces of it you can start applying in your practice or med spa right now. Now, if you want to understand the bigger shift that's happening in healthcare, watch this next video on cash-based practices. It'll show you exactly where things are heading. And if you're serious about building this into your current practice, then that's exactly what we do. So click the link in the description and click a free call with us. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.